Hey everybody. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my COVID journey. It's definitely not been an easy one. So with that, I'm also going to be doing some makeup because it makes me feel human. It makes me feel alive. It makes me look alive. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So for those who don't know, about 3 weeks ago, I was told I came in contact with a patient who had COVID. I'm a healthcare worker. I knew the risk. I had proper PPE, the whole 9 yards. At home, I took the proper precautions. Christopher and I didn't go out to anywhere. We got everything delivered. And we stayed in. I knew that if it was me who gave it to somebody, how horrible I would feel. So we made the conscious decision to get everything delivered, stay in, even before it was mandatory. If you hear a little rustling, it's Nixie, who apparently wants to make an appearance today. So the facility I was working at, we were getting tested weekly. We got tested on a Wednesday, and on a Friday I got a call saying that my patient had tested positive for COVID. Now, I was at a different patient's residence and immediately called my office, told them, look, this is what's going on. I don't feel sick. I don't want to take a chance. Completely understood. They didn't want me to do that either. So I was retested on Friday because my test came back negative on the Wednesday. So I was retested on Friday and was told to receive that I'd get my results back in about 5 to 7 days, which is a long time, especially for a healthcare worker. Yeah, 5 to 7 days, and that was that. So I was retested on Friday. At that point I didn't have any symptoms. I was obviously taken off rotation, off my nursing rotation, and was told that we'd have to wait for my results to come in to know what was going on. I was totally fine with it. I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially dealing with elderly people. So that's what we did. And then Saturday rolled around, still feeling fine. Sunday. Now I realized on Sunday that I'd had a headache since Friday. No, maybe even Thursday I had a headache. And I didn't think anything of it. You get a headache, you get a headache. So I was a little paranoid. I felt paranoid. I was like, oh my god, I have a headache. This is it. I'd had it. And then I was like, realistically, it could just be a headache. I realized I had a headache for a few days on Sunday. And then Monday rolled around. I was feeling worse for wear. I had a fever, a low-grade fever. It was 99.9. It's nothing crazy, but it was also not my normal because I run cold. When I tell you I run cold, we were getting temperature tested every day I went into work. I was getting temperatures tested. I would run from 94.6 to 96.1. I ran cold. It's just how I run. So I knew 99 was above my norm, and I was a bit alarmed. So at this point, about 4 days in, I had a headache and had a fever. As Monday progressed, I started feeling worse. My headache felt like if someone was squeezing my head. That's how my headache felt. So this was Monday. Tuesday rolls around. I was pretty bad. I was starting to have breathing issues, where I would just be sitting on my bed because I had quarantined myself away from Christopher, who's my fiance. I was in the bedroom, he was in the living room. We did that as soon as we found out that I was exposed, hoping that if I have it, I can not give it to him, because I didn't have energy. I couldn't really get up. My body ached. Like, I don't even, like, I've never experienced an ache like this before. Like, every joint in my body hurt. Everything was sore when I moved. So that's where I was. And then I was like this for about a good weekend, like a good week. I was having trouble breathing. I'm going through like the symptoms because I wanted to make sure I told you all of my symptoms, because I pretty much had everything. So, headache, fever, chills, sore throat. Like, I had a tickling in the back of my throat when I had my headache the first 2 days. I had fever, chills, shortness of breath, muscle and body aches, fatigue. And that was the first, I think, 4 or 5 days. And I had a sore throat, and I was very congested, still very congested. Nausea. Now I've had some issues recently with my GI, so it's been kind of interesting because I was already feeling nauseated, so it didn't really feel like something new to me. That's what was going on with me. And then at this time, we're about 7 days in. I still hadn't gotten my tests from the facility I tested at, or my office, like my home office for my company. And I was a little alarmed because I was feeling worse. So I called and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I don't feel great. I really can't breathe. Like, I was gasping for air. We were told that the labs are backed up. I'm currently in Florida. I could deal with the fever, I could deal with the chills, I could deal with the headache, the body ache, the fatigue, the nausea, everything else. But the thing that scared me was shortness of breath. The way my body would like convulse basically when I would like want to take a breath in. Now, I called my doctor. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I think I have COVID. I got tested. I don't have my results, but I'm having difficulty breathing and I have a fever. And she immediately said to go to the ER. This was on, I think by then it had been a full week, so it had been Friday to Friday. So she said to go to the ER. I was like, it's not that serious yet. Like, I don't think I'm there yet. But who am I to argue with my doctor, you know? So I took my butt to the ER. The way it works here in Florida is no one can go with you. You have to go by yourself, which is part of the reason I was dreading it. I don't want to go by myself. I didn't want something to happen and have no one there. But ultimately I knew it would be worse if something happened at home. And then they had to take me to the ER. There was a tent that looked like a medical army tent. And I was like, oh God, am I gonna get triaged in the parking lot? But no. What happened was, if you were in a car and you didn't have any COVID symptoms, or you're ailment was not emergency worthy, they would turn you around, sorry, someone's making an appearance, and send you to an urgent care around the corner. So I pulled up and they asked me, what's wrong? What are you feeling? I told them I've got COVID tested due to exposure. I'm waiting for the results, but I'm having difficulty breathing and I have a fever. Through all this, I think I got 2 words in at a time before I was like sorry, before I was like gasping for air. And they took me in. Now, when I tell you I love my hospital, this is the 2nd time I've been within less than a year. I really do love it. And the one thing that I must say is everybody was a gem. They were so wonderful and efficient. Like, I think they were more efficient now than when I went to the hospital when there wasn't a pandemic going on. So I do have to give them kudos for that. So I waited about 3 hours before I got taken back. Now, I think it was about 2 before they did triage. Again, talking like a few words before like gasping for air. She took my temperature. When I got there, it was 101.8, which had been the highest I've had like since I got exposed. And she, like, I couldn't, when I tell you I had chills, like yeah, you get cold or whatever. No, this was like I couldn't stop shivering. Like, I would be sitting there and I'd be like this and I'd be like, I'm so sorry, like I can't stop. And she was like, it's okay, like you're okay. And she was so sweet. Took me back. She was like, let me get you Tylenol right now, see if we can get your fever down. Someone wanted to make an appearance. You can barely see her because she's so dark. No, she hears Christopher cooking lunch. Anyways, she gave me Tylenol in the hospital and isolated me from everybody else, which I wasn't mad at. Like, I knew it was, at this point, I got there I think at 6, it was about 8 or 9. And she was like, we're bumping you up to priority because you're struggling to breathe. I can physically see you struggling to breathe without even listening to your lungs or anything. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I'm gonna have you sit over here, we're gonna get a chest x-ray. Because she was scared I had pneumonia, which I was scared of too. So that's where we were. I was waiting in a separate area to get a chest x-ray and just waiting to be seen by a doctor. She was my nurse. She was wonderful. I think maybe an hour passed before I was called and was taken. I thought I was just gonna go into the x-ray room, which in retrospect was kind of dumb of me. I should have thought. And they took me back to a modified ER room. It's kind of funny, not funny. I don't know, it reminded me of like post-apocalyptic, like world-ending ER, which it sounds bizarre, I know. But like the nurses station had these crazy like air ducts, exposed air ducts to like purify the air in the area in the hospital. I was tested for COVID. I had a chest x-ray, I had blood taken, and I was given some fever reducer through my IV. Again, my experience at the hospital was great. Like, don't wait. If you feel bad, go. Like, do I wish I would have gone sooner? I mean, maybe to find out if I had it, but it didn't give, like, finding out I had it definitely didn't give me peace of mind. The doctor came in and was like, so, got your test back, you definitely have it. How do you feel? And I was like shit, like, I feel really bad. And he was like, that's understandable. But do you feel any different with the medicine we gave you? I said, I don't feel as hot, and my shivering had subsided since the fever was gone. And he asked, do you feel like you want to go home? And me, I don't want to spend time in the hospital that I, like, when I was able to ambulate, I was able to talk, I was able to finally breathe after they gave me the breathing treatment. Was it 100%? No. But was it better than when I arrived? Yes. So I was like, yeah, like I'm pretty confident I can take care of myself if I leave. But can you give me, like, what's my medicine for going home? How's this gonna work? Because my fear was I was gonna start struggling to breathe again, and again, it's the one thing I can't stand is not being able to breathe. Everything else I could deal with. I was given cough syrup with codeine in it, along with prescription strength Motrin and a steroid and an inhaler. And I'm gonna tell you now, I am using my inhaler religiously because I'm afraid of not being able to breathe. So basically, got sent home. This was about a week of showing symptoms. I'm back at home. I had been taking everything pretty religiously. The Motrin really did nothing for me. My fever did what it wanted. It didn't really care if I took anything to help reduce it, which was kind of surprising to me because I was really, really hoping that the, what do you call it? The Motrin would help. Like, it wasn't, oh, sounds like they're mowing outside. Great. So I'm sorry for the extra noise. I'm already dealing with Christopher in the background. But anyways, yeah, so basically told, go home, take everything as prescribed. If your oxygen drops below 90%, to come back. Pretty confident that I could monitor my vitals and make sure I stayed in the clear. So I told him, okay. So I was sent home that night. Called Christopher on my way home and told him what was going on, that I was coming back home. Stay away from me, like, I'm positive. Not like stay away from me, but I just wanted to be safe. I think probably the hardest part about all this is being away from family. Like, it's been really hard. We're in Florida. Christopher's family's in Australia. My family's in Texas. We have nobody here in Florida. So it was really hard not having like a support system. The last time I was in hospital, we weren't in a pandemic. My mother was able to fly out and at least be with me for a few days until we figured out what was going on. It's really hard. Our family though, Christopher's family has been amazing. They've just been checking in on me because again, there's not much they can do. Definitely been prayed for by a lot of people, which if you don't believe in that, fine, but I do. It's been really wonderful knowing I have such a big support system, even if they're far away. And my family, I think, it's been really hard. My mom surprised me. They were calling me pretty often and asking like, is there anything you need? And I was like, there's nothing you can do. Like, you're so far away. I'm not gonna inconvenience you like that. If you don't really know me, I'm a very like want to please people kind of person. I think I'm just a kind of shut your mouth, agree, do what needs to be done. So anytime I'm sick or anything, like I don't want to feel like a burden. So I was like, no, there's not really anything you can do anyways. I'm okay. And then been chatting a lot with my, I say sister, she's my older brother's wife, and my niece, who I'm very close to. I'm close to all of my nieces and nephews. That is Nixie again. Just to check in and chat, because like, again, Christopher is in the living room, we set him up, and I'm in the bedroom, and I'm trying to stay away. Like, if I'm in the room, the door's closed to prevent any possible infection. We're trying to do all we can to be safe. And then a lot of chatting with my parents. Which just kind of makes me feel a little better. Like, I talk to my family daily. I have contact with one member of my family daily. But through all this, like, I'm talking to multiple family members multiple times a day, which is wonderful. It's something I really missed. And my dad, this was about a week ago, told him I was still having fever. The Motrin, like I guessed, didn't really work. And I was still having trouble breathing. And I told him, like, I'm really craving, like, I don't know why, but I'm really craving caldo. It would make me, like, I want him to cook it. Like, I love my dad's caldo. It's so good. Again, everybody's parents probably makes it, and everybody thinks that their parents' version is the best. I lost my mirror. And I was telling him, like, it was just an offhand comment. Next thing I know, my mom's texted me and she goes, hey, send Christopher downstairs, you're expecting a package. I was like, what? I was just thinking she's into sending me care packages every now and then. So I was thinking, oh, it's just like that. And lo and behold, my precious parents overnighted me caldo. Did I cry? Yes. I opened it like when I finally figured out what it was. Cried because of how wonderful they are. It's exactly what I needed to feel not so alone. I'm lucky that my parents have the means to send me caldo overnight because it was not cheap. So I wish we were closer to family, and Christopher or mine. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I just wish it was close to my family. No, Christopher's family is wonderful. His youngest sister's been checking in on me a lot. His parents have been asking him what's going on. His, or I guess our niece, his twin sister's daughter, she's been messaging me. It's so cute. I have been a mess. So my current symptoms, again, it's gonna be about 3 weeks this week. I still get winded. I still cough. So where I am is I'm still having a few issues breathing. But it's not as bad as it was before. My body aches still. This doing my makeup is about as much energy as I can muster. If I do anything else, I get super winded and like super exhausted. It feels like I just want to kind of pass out. And on occasion I have. I've slept for like a full 24 hours this week. Granted, it's what, Monday, so I guess it was last Thursday. I woke up for maybe an hour, and then next thing I know, I woke up the next day. I'm doing all that I can to stay relatively cheerful through all this and be positive, because if I don't, I will go down a spiral and I don't know if I will stop. Please wear your mask. Limit your contact. I was one of the lucky ones that were able to go home. My O2 still drops. My O2 will drop some days to like 92%. And then I freak out. I'm like, oh God, I really don't want to go to the hospital again. I'm in contact with my doctor in case something else changes. So my takeaway from everything is please wear your mask. If you are lucky enough to be in the same household as your family, hug them a little tighter. After all of this is over, that's all I want to do. I just want to go home and spend time with my family, and just be close to them. Christopher and I postponed our wedding from October of this year to early 2021. The reason we don't just elope, it's not something either one of us wants. I want to be able to spend the day with my family, hence why we moved it in the first place. And when I say my family, I mean my soon-to-be in-laws. I don't want to just take advantage of the fact that my family lives in the US. I don't want to be selfish like that. It's not fair. They are my family too. As soon as Christopher and I started dating, they became my family. I want all of us to be able to celebrate. I'm already planning this without some of the people I thought would be there. Oh God, I made it through the whole thing without crying. I would have loved if my grandparents could have been there. I would have loved if my sister could have been there, but that wasn't the plan. So yeah, I just want to celebrate our wedding with the people we love. So if we have to push it back, is it going to be an inconvenience? Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, we are not in a hurry. Please wear your mask. Christopher got tested last week. We are still waiting his results. He seems fine, so I don't expect him to have it. But yeah, so if you have any questions, please reach out. If you're bored at home, you're working from home and you just want to chat, please reach out. I am here. I don't know what my schedule will look like when I go back to work, or when I'll go back to work. I know I have to test negative. So yeah.